human strength. But with great power, comes great responsibility. That's always the case. And the question is, are you using your willpower wisely? Will you use it wisely? Are you using it wisely? Or are you throwing away your life by abusing it? Now, this is a very powerful statement I make here. You your life by not by abusing your willpower, because most people just don't know how to use it wisely. They just don't know how to use their willpower, and hence they end up not using it properly and abusing it. And that means you are not harnessing the greatest human strength. Okay, so let's talk about the laws of willpower, some of the basic fundamental laws of willpower. Here's the key. We have, throughout the day, we have a finite amount of willpower. We don't have an infinite amount of willpower. We can't just generate willpower out of nowhere. We only have a finite amount of willpower available to us any given moment. And the other key is that no matter what you use your willpower for, it comes from the same bucket of willpower. Whether you use your willpower for working out, whether you use it for control, whether you use it for controlling your emotions hard at your office, whether you use it for creating a video like this, whatever it is coming from one bucket of power. The third key, really important key about willpower, is that it is like a muscle. We can build a muscle over time by strengthening it, but at the same time, if we use it through the day, it will lose its strength. It will get weaker as we continue to use it again through the day. But over time, we can strengthen it if we use it properly. If we use that muscle properly, if we strengthen the muscle properly, we can strengthen, we can make it stronger. But if we don't use the muscle properly, if we don't make good use of the muscle, it will weaken over time. So there is a right way to use willpower and there's a wrong way to use willpower. And we'll get into that in just a little bit. Now, here's the key. There are four kinds of willpower, and that's how we spend our willpower. So, or as we talked about, willpower is about controlling deliberately. It's deliberate control. And so here's what we're controlling. We're controlling our thinking. What does it mean? Well, just for example, if you're trying to control your thinking, like I tell you, don't think of a white bear. Well, you end up thinking of a white bear, and not only that, now you have reduced your willpower. So controlling our thinking reduces our willpower. And just working on a task will deplete your willpower. Controlling your thinking because you're working on a task will deplete your willpower. Controlling your emotions, really powerful thing, because they've done this experiment where they gave moviegoers this task to control their emotions and to not have any emotional reaction while watching a really emotional movie. And what they found out was those moviegoers had depleted willpower levels. Another important way in which we use our control is controlling our impulses. Let's say not eating something that is really delicious, or controlling our impulse to go online and do something that we really want to do. So another way to control our impulses, or exercise control. Another way we exercise control is performance, how we perform. Sometimes it is through perseverance. Sometimes when we're working on a hard problem and we persevere through it, that's performance. And we're controlling it, we're giving it our very best, but that's depleting our willpower. Another way, we're planning, we're using it to plan something important, really important use of willpower, but it's coming out of our overall bucket, and we have to be careful about it. Again, managing our time, managing our commitments, managing, planning, perceiving important things. Again, this is where control comes in, this is where willpower comes in. So we just figured out how we expend our willpower. Now, one of the book is the idea that our willpower is to be used. The best thing to do with our willpower is to use it properly, because if we don't use it properly, we are just throwing it away. As we talked about, with great strength comes great. So let's talk about what is the highest leverage use of willpower. Purely highest leverage use of willpower, and it is to create own habits. Habits. That's the best, the most powerful use of willpower. And what do we do? Like, so here's the key. Most successful people, they have they become successful as a result of good habits, not as the result of one-off heroic effort once in a while. Does not Heroic efforts once in a while do not create success. Staying up all night once in a while does not create success. Working on a project once every 5 days, 7 days, 10 days does not create success. So the key to success is to having habits. And the amazing thing about good habits is once we create one good habit, it can create a lot of other good habits. So, for example, creating a habit of working out or exercise can lead you to a better eating habit, a better sleeping habit, a better morning productivity ritual, a better evening productivity ritual. So many benefits of working out. It's always been one of the greatest habits we can develop in our lives. Um, Now, one of the things about creating keystone habit is to start and change, focus on one change at a time. Don't try to do multiple habits. Don't try to create multiple keystone habits. Just one change at a time, one big habit at a time. That's the best use of your willpower. Now, let's do an exercise to create keystone habits, to create important powers. Go through the four really simple process. The first thing I want you to ask yourself is, what is the most in your life right now? What is the single most important goal in your life right now? You can pause this video and write it down. Second, what is the one habit you must have in order to accomplish this goal? What is the one habit you must have in order to accomplish this goal? And you know it yourself. Without this habit, this goal will not be realized. So ask yourself this question: what is the one habit you must have in order to accomplish this goal? The third key, the third step is to write down the three key steps that make up this habit. And any habit is made up of three parts. The cue is the thing that triggers this habit, which would be when, where, or many other cues. The second part of this habit is the routine itself. What exactly will you do? What is the habit itself? And you want to get as detailed as possible. And the third part of the habit is to have a reward, to build in a reward so that every time you do that habit, you get a reward. Now, let me give you an example. In my case, I developed the habit of meditation. And I feel it is one of the most profoundly important things I do on a daily basis. It helps me develop myself beyond anything else I do. So, what is my cue? My cue is that when I get out of the shower in the morning and I get dressed, that's my cue. As soon as I get out of the shower and I get dressed, I sit down to meditate. What is my routine to meditate? I sit down in a specific spot in in one of my rooms, and then I turn on my alarm, my stop clock, and I put the 30-minute timer or 20-minute timer, whatever it is, and I turn it on, and I close my eyes, and I start to meditate. That is my meditation routine. Every day, every morning, as soon as I'm done with shower, I go and sit down to meditate. Nothing comes in between. There is no phone calls, no urgency, nothing. That's the routine. And then as soon as I'm done with meditation, my reward is I get to prepare breakfast, eat breakfast, and that is my daily morning meditation routine. Now you can have your own keystone habits and create your own keystone habit rituals and write out the whole thing and make sure you go through this process. The fourth step is to commit to executing on this habit for the next 7 days. And you have to use your willpower towards getting started on it initially. It takes a lot of effort initially, and that's why you need a lot of willpower to get it going initially. And after 7 days, you'll see that you're getting momentum and it's getting easier and easier to execute on this habit.